Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's the podcast where we talk about growing up, living queer, nerdy, and depressed, online and at the cinema. From the kids who are trapped on the Nostromo, it's Sneople at the Movies. Sorry for the impromptu laugh line. I was
what's
just
your
giggling
name?
about... Oh, good golly. Can't be saying good golly, I'm begging.
No, I won't. What's your name, man?
Hi, folks. My name is Ben Hamlin. I'm the content director of Infinity Break. I also am the host of Syndicated with Lesley and Ben, a television history and genre podcast, as well as the game master of ParaScience, an exploration of the supernatural and unquantifiable, which I make with my two friends, Maddie and Ezra, and I'm flattered to be here.
Wow,
This is
neither
that
of us.
was normally we do a I'm Helena, I'm Maddie, I'm Ezra. So that was a that was like a actual podcast. Wow.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
I was
panicked.
gonna say Ben has the real podcaster pitch down.
I know. It was funny because at the end of the episode, I was going to be like, Ben, so where can people find you? What else do you do? Whatever. Don't need to worry about that. We're set. We're done.
The great. Do you have the ritual? Do you have any pluggables? Question.
I apologize.
No sweat.
I can start over
Ben's
if you
got
want me
it.
to.
No, this is funnier.
This is totally fine. Yeah.
So welcome to the ParaScience crossover episode of People at the Movies, featuring the cast of ParaScience. Also, there's a cat outside my window. Hello.
Hello.
Don't
I'm gonna. Oh, nope. Oh, they're gone. Black and white kitty.
Don't let the cat inside, or else then you become the fucked up place.
Yeah, so Ezra and Maddie are here.
Yeah.
Obviously we are down Helena's
Helena's off doing Helena things.
I guess. But that's fair because I was off doing
presumably.
Maddie things last week, so this is a trade-off. But we thought, instead of having 2 episodes in a row where we were down in person, let's bring on Ben, producer Ben, who we have talked about many a time. He just made a peace sign, you couldn't see it. But...
who we keep having to go producer Ben, who is also our friend, because it sounds weird to just call you producer Ben.
Yeah.
So here's producer Ben, who is also our friend.
Hi, folks. My name is Ben. I'm also your friend. That's the entire bit.
And we have proof of it, because now he's on the episode, so...
Yep. This is recorded for posterity for as long as, I don't know, Apple Podcasts lasts, which might not be that long.
Sure. Looking directly into the camera. That's BENJAMIN.
That's right.
I do consent to this recording for commercial or non-proprietary uses.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Had to think about how to
Welcome
spell that
to
first name.
welcome to the truly "Are you stuck in here with us or are we stuck in here with you?" episode. That doesn't really cover exactly what it is we were talking about, but I thought it was funny.
Let's do a quick what we sneep, just get it out of the way before we get too lost in the weeds here. Obviously, I haven't recorded in a fucking month, so I've seen a few things. I watched...
Maddie's out here, like, rolling up. Maddie now is the one rolling up with, like, the big fucking
I'm
stack
the
of
Helena
library books,
of this,
but it's the what they
this
sneak.
episode. Yeah. I also watched 3 movies today to kind of bolster my numbers, so I watched Curse of the Black Pearl, watched West Side Story 2021, watched Dead Man's Chest, Add World Dead, so watched Pirates 1 through 3, basically, over a course of a couple days. Watched Sweet Home Alabama, for some reason. Watched The Lost Boys, first Jurassic Park, What We Do in the Shadows, finally, after all these years. Watched Game Night, first Resident Evil movie, Event Horizon 1997, and In the Mouth of Madness, which I have seen before.
So, the way this segment works, we talk about everything that we've seen since we've previously been on an episode.
Yeah, in this case, because you have not been on an episode before and you are not regularly on the show, I just figured, because normally for us it's the past 2 weeks.
Sure.
So
I mean, I can start
just
at
give
the
us
beginning.
like a... Sure, start from the day you're born.
Okay, cool. So I've been with probably a bunch of like Richard Scarry VHS tapes so I can learn the alphabet.
Okay.
We'll just post a
Hold the
link to
fuck
Ben's
on.
letterbox.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Also, what?
What? There were Richard Scarry VHS tapes?
Yeah, it was a cartoon. In addition to a book series.
I have no idea what
I
you're
promise you that's
before.
true.
Anyway, I believe
I'm
you.
not
That's
doubting
way
you.
too specific to make up on the fly just to fuck with 2 of your friends. But like,
First movie
anyway,
First movie in theaters was Toy Story.
and that explains so much.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's how I developed this personality of a sad, strange little man.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so just whatever you've written out a list here, I assume it's the past week or so. So
yeah, last 2 or 3 weeks. Maddie, I also watched Event Horizon. What a coinky-dink.
I know, we didn't even watch it together. We watched it separately.
Yeah, not the ideal watching experience for that movie. That should have been together as a family, but I understand why that just couldn't have happened. Game Night, which I had the pleasure to show you. Parasite, which I had the... Yeah. Parasite, watched that again for the first time in about a year and a half after... which I had the pleasure to show Johnny. Twins, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito movie, which I watched on a whim. I'm categorizing that movie under a letterbox tag I have called, well, Arnold's having fun.
Yeah.
Because I like watching Arnold Schwarzenegger have fun.
Yeah, don't we all? As stated, I did watch Sweet Home Alabama, the 2002 rom-com, so I think this is a shame-free zone. Sometimes you just fucking watch a movie for some reason.
To spoil mine, back to back, I watched The Prince of Egypt and then Disney's Hercules and the Hunchback of Notre Dame all in one night, so, you know.
I mean, those are all good movies, though, so...
That's fair. They're also, like, I also just don't usually, like, avail myself of somebody's Disney Plus to watch a bunch of animated Disney movies from when I was fucking 6.
But, much like me and Twins, you also like watching movies in which Danny DeVito is having fun.
Yeah, very much so.
So you want to be a hero kid, well, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Anyway, watched West Side Story, cried about it. Watched No Sudden Moves, the, I guess not latest now, because Kimmy came out, but the second most latest Soderbergh movie. Watched Being John Malkovich for some reason. Also a wild one. Finished Severance recently. Let's see. And on the horror end, Nightmare Alley, American Psycho, and Videodrome.
You put Miss Congeniality on here, and I'm not going to let you skip over that. I love that movie.
Well, I want to say that one last, because, gang, today is April 25th.
It sure is.
It sure is.
That's the perfect day. Now, granted, I watched Miss Congeniality 3 weeks ago.
Doesn't matter. It was, you
But
knew.
Still worth
somehow.
talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, not too hot, not too cold. You just need a light jacket.
But I'm trying to expand my horror oeuvre, understanding, my horror filmography. So, branching out into things like American Psycho. And... yeah, it's scary having to perform femininity like that.
Yeah.
Get it.
Literally one of my worst fears.
Michael Caine's there? Frightening.
Terrifying.
Honest to God, though, like, if Michael Caine ever shows up, I assume that I'm, like, about to either A, find out that I'm the protagonist of something, or B, find out that somebody else in my life is the protagonist of something and I'm gonna get killed about it.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
he has big, like, fucking harbinger of the hero's journey energy.
Yeah, true.
Well, similar to the Arnold's having fun tag, I think I should probably create a Michael Caine's having fun tag.
I feel like you should create a Michael Caine's getting paid tag.
By Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Look, which, again, I'm not saying is bad. Do what you gotta do, but also...
Yeah.
Yes, I would love to be in about 2 minutes of Tenet.
Someday I'm gonna get high and watch that movie. Not because I think it's gonna make any more sense if I'm high, because I think it'll be funny.
Yeah,
I agree. I fully believe in that movie when they say explicitly, don't try to understand what's about to happen, just feel it.
I am in fact here for a 100% vibes based experience of Tenet. Anyway, so as previously stated, I decided to celebrate the second night of Passover by watching The Prince of Egypt, Hercules, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, all in a row. 2 of those are, Judaism, I guess, does technically have a concept of blasphemy, but, like, only a little bit. That's a lot of other people's religions going on.
Yeah.
And I've had hellfire stuck in my head for like 2 solid weeks.
Yeah, but you did Prince of Egypt
that's
first,
cool.
so...
I did Prince of Egypt first. That was the most important one. I also made matzo ball soup and fed it to my friends.
So, you're probably fine.
If Hercules is a very good Superman adaptation, then it's also...
You are making a red string board right now to try and justify this.
You're right, I'm done.
That one's funny though.
Then it's also a Moses thing, is what I was gonna say.
This is a very long, very thin red string, but I'm here for it. I finished The Haunting of Bly Manor, which I talked about the last time on Sneople, which made me feel a bunch of feelings. I take back literally everything I said about Our Flag Means Death last episode. I am sitting here eating my words with a spoon, because I stayed up until 2:00 in the morning, binge watching it all in one go with Leia, because I physically could not stop watching. It's anyway. Also, I promised I would credit her for pointing at Stede Bonnet and going, "Hey, that's your gender," and she was right. Oops. I'm gonna sew myself that fucking like mustard yellow banyan if it kills me.
I believe in
I
you.
need it.
I think that's... you're right.
Mountain Goat's voice.
Anyway, which was just genuinely as fun as everybody says it is. Yeah, I don't even have anything like coherent to say about it. It just made me really happy.
Yeah. That's
also
perfect.
really just like immediately unhinged.
Yeah.
Sometimes a piece of media can just make you happy, and that's it.
And unhinged.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't have anything smart to say about it. It's funny to watch Con O'Neill, whose Twitter is like 50% fucking really raunchy fan art of his character on that show, and the other 50% is wishing death upon members of the Tory party.
Two great tastes that go great together.
He's winning Twitter.
King, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Everybody in that show's great. It's great. Just give in. Just let it happen to you. Oh, and I fucking started watching Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like on a whim, and then I was like, oh no, this is like good?
Okay. Good.
I don't know how like objectively good it is, but I'm having a good time.
That matters.
And it is so much better than, because I left off of Marvel properties, well, realistically halfway through, is Infinity War or Endgame the first part of the two-parter? I can't remember.
shoves up my nerd glasses. Infinity War is.
Yeah, Endgame. So it's Endgame and then Infinity War?
No, Infinity War is the first part.
Other way around. No, okay, so I checked out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe 10 minutes into Endgame, and remember absolutely jack shit about anything, because I don't care. And this was like, this felt like it didn't owe anything. It wasn't like furiously filling in the fucking stupid little gaps between movies I don't give a shit about with, like, toothpaste, which is what most of the rest of this shit feels like.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, Moon Knight has its own style.
Yeah, which is great.
What a concept.
Anyway, it doesn't feel beholden to the rest of the MCU, it sounds like, which is such a relief as someone who, like, is also... I saw, not the most recent Spider-Man, but I think the last Marvel movie I saw was the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, if that tells you anything. So that was a while ago, and I tapped out then, and I haven't seen any of the MCU shows or anything, but I really want to see Moon Knight, and I trust your judgment, so...
I'm having fun. I have only seen the first 2 episodes. I guess as of recording, there's 4, maybe 5 out, and I've only seen the first 2, because that was what I had time to watch. Yeah, I don't know. I find it charming.
I love Oscar
It's
Isaac.
goofy.
I'm personally a huge fan of Moon Knight as a comic book. I'm personally a huge fan of Moon Knight as a comic book character. I really latch on to him. He's when I want a slightly more fucked up Daredevil story, I go to Moon Knight.
Fair. I can say literally nothing about the fidelity to the comics Moon Knight because I did not know what Moon Knight was.
Oh,
until they started doing publicity for the show.
Oh, damn! How fun for you, actually. Like, sincerely.
Yeah, literally I had seen
you
the name on like lists.
Had you seen the comic panel at least that was like Dracula, where's my money?
Yes, that was the only thing I knew about Moon Knight.
Okay.
Completely out of context. Dracula, you bitch, where's my money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Ben could provide any context for and tell us if it's shopped or not.
Oh, it's super photoshopped. People love photoshopping specifically Moon Knight panels because nobody else reads Moon Knight, so no one can confirm or deny if it's a real Moon Knight panel. Except for the people that Photoshop Moon Knight panels, myself included.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I
assumed
that it was shopped, but
superhero. Where you're like, I don't know enough about this superhero to debate that.
Yeah.
Your
I just
clue.
wanted it to be real.
Your clue, Mr.
Oscar
Policeman.
Isaac is so hot, I, like, can't function. I, like, do not know what to do with myself. No one should... It's, like, unreal. I'm like, fuck off! Stop!
Your clue, detectives, should be that they can't print the word fucking in a Marvel comic.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair, okay.
So give me my fucking money, Dracula.
Boring.
Is not a real line Moon Knight has said.
Boring.
Yeah, I forgot that
Let Marvel Comics say fuck.
Yeah.
Let Spider-Man say shit.
Yeah.
Please.
He's from New York.
He's from New York.
Anyway.
Did you mention that you saw Event Horizon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Fuck. Okay. I also watched all three of us watched Event Horizon separately. I showed it to my roommate last night. And I was like, I had sort of, because I had seen it before, but it had been a long time. I forgot how fucking gross that movie is.
Especially at the end, yeah.
Especially
really
at the end.
Hard. Which for me, I was like,
incredible.
Yeah!
There's like a couple of parts that I have to close my eyes for.
Yeah, which is fair.
But for the most part, like, weirdly enough, also, like, there's a ton of ice cream in that movie, and it does not bother me at all.
The second they did the first... Okay, we're just gonna get to the topic now, but we'll start with Event Horizon. There's a part right at the beginning where they're talking about, like, they get on the ship, they find the first body, and it's missing its eyes, and it's like, oh, they didn't, like, it wasn't a pressure thing, it was something, like, clawed out. And I was thinking, like, Ezra loves this movie. Ezra's told me multiple times I have to say, Ben likes this movie.
I know, Ben and I like notorious ice cream, nope.
Yeah,
nopers.
And then, spoilers for Event Horizon, sorry, but, like, at one point, Sam Neill does claw out his own eyes. Like,
that would be one of the parts that I have to close my eyes for.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that and the, like, the first crew, like, cannibalizing each other flashbacks. Yeah. I just am like, nope, that's over my fucking threshold.
Yeah.
As soon as he, like, goes for his own eyeballs, I'm like, I'm deleting the next 15 seconds of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The rest of the time, it's just empty eye sockets.
Yeah.
Which don't actually...
Or they're so
I don't like it, but it does not bother me in the same way that something... destroying the structural integrity of an eyeball.
Yeah.
Is like, I can't handle the aftermath of it is like, because there's no blood. Like, they're not bloody sockets.
Also,
yeah, they're like weirdly clinically clean considering how much of that movie is just corn syrup blood everywhere.
So much corn syrup blood.
Yeah.
Literally one of the first lines when they get on the Event Horizon is someone saying, I'm finding blood here? Yeah, and you're gonna find some more.
Oh yeah, you're gonna find a little bit more.
You're gonna find
they
a
get
lot.
on the bridge and they get on the bridge and it's fully like caked into the weird like diesel punk like struts in there, and you're just like, okay, whatever happened here was like real bad.
Turning on my little helmet mounted flashlight. Oh no, what happened?
Uh-oh, oops. So what we're talking about, this is obviously the ParaScience crossover episode, which is a podcast that we're on. My brain just turned off for a minute, rebooted, we're fine. Tabletop podcast, supernatural, sort of, horror, sort of. It comes from a lot of different places. And we thought it would be fun to do a version of, like, horror movies that's, like, fucked up places. because there's so many different genres of movie that we like, and that are very prevalent, where like you are stuck in a place specifically that is fucked up, and there's a lot of reasons for it. I wrote a list.
It's a good list.
I'm the list guy now. Helena.
I'm calling this episode the skeleton meme can't save you.
Yeah, you cannot walk out. You cannot just walk out. Cops if you're quick, but there's no cops here because they're all dead. But also you guys are probably dead too. Bummer.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, cops if you're quick, ghost not at all.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
ghost does not matter if you're quick.
Yeah, there's 4 categories I've written out here, and there is a lot of fluctuation between them. I think just due to the nature of the topic here.
It's a messy
and it's we are trapped here with something, which is why this place is fucked up. So examples of that are Alien, The Thing, Jurassic Park, which is not really a horror movie, but they're trapped there with the dinosaurs, aren't they? This place has always been fucked up, or was fucked up way before we got here and we fell into it, which would be Event Horizon, Amityville Horror, The Shining, The Wicker Man, stuff like that.
This place, Pet Cemetery on there?
I did.
Yes, okay. Pet Cemetery is on here. This place became fucked up through events, maybe of our own doing. Some of them are things that took place maybe before, but we are related to the fucked up in this, which has stuff like Cabin in the Woods, Resident Evil 1, The Terror, Train to Busan, 30 Days of Night, stuff like that. And then We Are the Haunting that is happening here, which is like, this place is haunted, but like, that is because specifically we are here. Which Shutter Island is that, Haunting of Hill House. Sunshine, sort of. I wrote The Final Girls, which I think is a movie only I have seen, which actually kind of falls into 3 of these categories, and I'm gonna make you guys listen to me talk about it.
I should really see Final Girls at some point.
Very good. I think I told you that, like, I think I talked about this on the show, maybe when I saw The Final Girls, but a large part of the portion of that plot is this girl was raised by a single mother who's an actress who did a lot of kind of, like, B-movie stuff, and was noted for a cult film, and the mom dies, and then they later get sucked into the mom's cult film. And as somebody who was raised by a single mother who was an actress who was in a lot of B movies and is specifically known for a cult movie, I cried a lot. It was very, very... My mom was not in a slasher, she was in something else. But so this would never would never happen to me. But
I simply wouldn't.
Couldn't be me. Yeah, I still think it's a very interesting movie, but I had an emotional reaction to it that I think many other people would not. Yeah, and now we are left to free roam. Do we want to go through kind of defining these categories one by one, or we just kind of want to talk about any movies in particular?
Well, maybe we could start just by talking like why we like this subgenre.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No, yeah, totally.
Because I fucking love this subgenre.
Me too. I love this.
Yeah. I will say, I know maybe this has come up on our behind the scenes episodes of ParaScience, which, you know, once again, folks, is a kind of a road trip tabletop horror experience that we do. It combines a lot of horror genres, but the point is that Maddie and Z's characters, Saint and Alistair, keep going to new locations and finding a fucked up thing that's happening there. But like, and every chapter we do like a behind the scenes thing. And we also talk a lot about our decisions and whatnot. So I'm sure this has come up in either one of those episodes or in, maybe just a personal conversation I've had with each of you. But I love horror, but I don't do gore.
Yeah, I would say of this group, possibly excluding our former and maybe returning player Nick, I am the biggest horror fan in that there's not really, I don't want to say that I'm a bigger horror fan than you guys because I have a higher threshold for like certain kinds of horror, right? Because that doesn't seem fair. But I have a higher threshold for things I can handle. There is not much that I cannot watch at this point in the game. I don't give a shit about gore, and never have, actually. Even when I didn't like horror, it wasn't the gore that bothered me.
Interesting.
I don't find gore to be scary or gross for the most part. I don't know what it is. It's those damn video games. It's those it's those dang video games.
Oh, Mom was right. Call of Duty would desensitize me to violence.
Oh, beans. I played too much BioShock.
I'm okay with American war crimes now. I played too much Call of Duty.
Oh, shit. Oh,
nuts. Damn.
Yeah, but to continue.
Oh, I mean, yeah, so I love horror, but I don't like blood and guts. I mean, I'll handle it if it's in something I'm enjoying otherwise. But, like, most slashers are a coin flip for me. And I know, hand to God, I know I will not enjoy, like, Hostel. Or Saw, for that matter.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, I'm very conscious about, like, what kind of horror I actually enjoy and which ones I super don't. So, if you take out all the bloods and guts and stuff, what I by and large enjoy is thinky horrors. But like psychological and emotional horrors that are like very, very character focused, not just, and I certainly don't want to sound derisive toward blood and guts kind of horror, but like that are not just like necessarily effects based or kind of like shock violence based either.
Yeah.
Nothing
no, you
wrong
can
with
look me
that.
right in my eyes and tell me to go fuck myself. No, it's fine.
Fuck you and Michael Myers.
Hey,
you have like a whole PowerPoint presentation worth of shit about like why Saw is like character driven.
No, I know
Like,
it is. I know.
yeah,
it
I
is.
think. Yeah,
I know.
It's interesting that because I know that Saw this is so unrelated to the topic at hand, and I'll be so brief.
Well, I mean, I guess Saw is a lot of you can't get out of this place.
I almost put it on the list. I've only seen the first one, and the later ones tend more towards the current iteration of like those like very gory. The horror is the gore, right? But I think Saw set up a lot of what would become that trend, unfortunately. But it does it in a way where like actually most of the first movie is not really that gory.
No, I know it's like
there's
more detective-y.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments that are right because it's still set up what would come later.
The titular Saw.
So it's like, yeah, would I recommend that you, Ben, watch it? Probably not. Not unless I was like, here's a timestamp for when you need to look away from the screen. Or I would watch it with you or something. But no, I would not recommend people who have a low go tolerance watch Saw. But I got sidetracked thinking about Saw.
I just mean,
anyway.
like, by and large, like, fucking Chucky can stay, like, 10,000 feet from me.
Chucky can get fucked. I hate Chucky.
No fucking thank you.
But what you do like is stuff like this. This is the
like
kind of
this.
horror that you enjoy.
I like when there is a 100-year-old ski lodge full of ghosts that keeps repeating a cycle of violence against whoever is the caretaker. Or I like when a meteorite lands outside of an Arctic research base. And then the people inside that Arctic research base slowly realize they can't trust each other. Or I love when the ground is bad and it makes your cat mean.
Yeah. I like when the setting is a character.
I like when the setting is a character.
Tremors.
Did you just say Tremors?
Yeah.
Have Andrew on for that. I'm not even kidding. I like locational based horror because I really do like when like a lot of work goes into the history of a place and its like visual setting as well. I like when I love set design, like, for sure. But also I like this kind of horror because it's usually, sure, there's a lot of like environment versus character stuff, but it's also like a lot of like character versus character and character versus the self kind of stuff that like really scratches my itch. Like, the problem in The Shining is absolutely that he's staying over the course of the winter and they don't have a ton of stimulus, but like the problem in The Shining is But the problem in The Shining is also that he's a recovering alcoholic and there's a domestic abuse situation. Like, it's not just the fact that he's in a hotel. Now that hotel is also haunted.
Yeah, it would not have been as bad if maybe they were staying someplace else.
Just a normal Holiday Inn.
Yeah, the place exacerbated the issue.
And I love that.
Already there.
I love when characters already have problems or already have a past or whatever, and the place makes it worse.
Yeah,
Or-
like
That's
in
good.
The Thing, like they are already isolated in an Arctic research base, and they're going to be there for a long time, and there's no way to contact the outside world. And then an alien shows up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like it was already gonna be a tough winter there. It was already
Yeah.
gonna be bad news, and then it just got worse.
I love it when the setting, when the horror shows up and it taps the situation and it breaks along like fault lines that were already there.
Yes.
In those characters or in like the social situation.
Yeah.
And it is, I love all of horror, but like I gravitate, because of my phobias, I gravitate more toward this end of things. And also as a result, from having watched more of this kind of things, I think it's more interesting to watch somebody lose their mind instead of just losing their hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are certainly plenty of people for whom that is the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But I like when Jack Nicholson does the Kubrick stare toward the camera.
Yeah.
Fair. As do
Many
many
people.
people.
Yeah.
I like
What
when
about,
I like when Sam Neill looks like he's having a bad time.
Yeah. That's why I watched
Sam
Event
Neill
Horizon and
has
The
a
Mouth of
bad
Madness
time.
back to back.
I'm like genuinely trying to I'm like, where can I watch The Mouth of Madness, which I have never seen and really want to.
I had to rent it. It was like $3.
What do you,
Oh,
what
okay,
are you
that's
doing
not
after
bad.
this call?
Watching Moon Knight and sewing.
Fine. But
Fine.
yeah, it's it's like 93 minutes, very digestible, and
Oh,
it
hell yeah.
just kicks absolute ass.
As
I
Maddie,
just love Sam Neill.
as I remarked to Maddie when we first watched the movie together months ago, and as Maddie remarked to me earlier today, Sam Neill is not doing an American accent in that movie.
No, he's doing his natural accent, but like with the implication that he's a man who lives in New York and like has always lived in New York. There's a point where he says
Love that for
never,
him.
never,
Never.
never, never throw
Love that
chips
for
at a
him.
driver. Like, hello?
Guess I gotta
Boss?
go and find this Mr. Lovecraft of yours.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a New Zealand accent. It's not quite as thick as we are making it sound.
No.
But it's like, especially when he says never. Oh my god, it is
It's that never.
never.
Like, what? Yeah, because New Zealand accents, all of your fucking vowels are a line or a dot with your mouth.
It's so funny. And he's doing it in Event Horizon too. Clearly they just let everybody just do their thing.
Yeah, they were like, we don't give a shit.
Because Jason Isaacs is also just kind of doing his thing, which is like, that's fine. This is a movie in space. It's like, whatever.
He is so skinny in that movie. It, like,
He's
freaks me out.
he's little.
I'm like, oh my god.
It's bizarre.
Also, like, can we talk for a second about how funny it is to watch Event Horizon where most of the characters are smoking cigarettes on a spaceship?
Yes.
It's so wild.
The 90s.
It's so good.
Sam Neill is
The
constantly
90s.
smoking in the Mouth of Madness also. He is in the shit. He's in this Lovecraftian ass town being chased by like fucking whatever, and he stops to have himself a smoke break, and it's like, bro.
He watches a man, well, maybe I shouldn't spoil that movie. He is being actively chased by like demon children full of like bloody teeth or whatever, and he's like, 1 second, I gotta light up.
Yeah, he's at the beginning of the movie, he is in a mental institution, and a doctor comes in to talk to him. And they're like, he's only asked for one thing, he's asked for a black crayon. But that doctor walks in, and immediately he's like, hey, do you have a smoke? And it's like, dude. The 90s and 80s and more.
Yeah. I miss,
The real horror
what was I
is
tweeting?
smoking.
I miss grungy sci-fi.
Yeah.
I'm
yes.
really tired of the sort of groupthink decision that all sci-fi needs to look like it was filmed inside of an Apple store.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
Anyway.
I mean, I do, but in moderation.
In specific ways, I think. I think when it's like normal and then you open up into the Apple store and the idea is like, oh, we're really in the shit now because everything is
That's fair.
clean and like clinical. That I think is effective. When it's like in the future, everything just looks like this. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
That's yeah. It's
cool.
It's the idea that like that's the like, or like the like where they were like, oh yeah, the utopia of Star Trek is everything looks like an Apple store. It was like boring.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
also what you've just described of something is off when you open the door and everything is like clean lines and white and highly polished is just Obi-Wan arriving on Kamino in
Yes.
Attack of the Clones.
You're so right. Fuck.
Fuck.
The
Anyway.
greatest horror movie of all.
Thinking of another sci-fi movie that does that, like, I personally find, while I kind of enjoy the movie, I kind of find Minority Report hard to watch because it's so clean line, shiny Apple store. It's, like, physically hard to focus on the shots sometimes. Because everything's just, like, weirdly too shiny.
I have started watching Minority Report like at least 4 times, and for whatever reason, just like not actually watched Minority Report.
It's a bit of a slug.
Yeah, well,
That's my hot
I'm trying
take.
to think
is
about
that it
like
could be a half
other
hour
things I
taken out
want
of
to
that
talk
movie.
about this. Like,
I
why
think-
do I like it when?
Because the core of this whole piece is isolation horror, right? The idea is
Yeah.
that you are here and it's just you, or it's just these other people with you, and there's nobody coming for you, which I think is inherently kind of scary, right? The idea that like they're list off like the tropes of shit that's scary. It's like the dark, the unknown, being alone.
Yeah.
And if you combine
Whether,
all of those,
Yeah.
like in Alien,
Fuck.
no wonder it's stuck
fuck.
in like the cultural consciousness. That shit's horrifying.
Yeah. The idea that like I love this particularly in space.
Yeah.
Because the thing about the spaceship is that you're out there and there's like a fucking tin can between you and the, you die zone. The like, you literally cannot survive out here zone.
You literally can't.
And so there's this element to where you like, you gotta trust your ship, which is a huge trope of like, you take good care of your ship, it takes care of you, blah, blah, blah. And so when you flip that around and have like the ship betray you, it's like it's so instantly stressful.
Yeah.
I think that ties into
it's so atmospheric.
something that is so no, you're fine. I talked over you because I got very excited about what I wanted to say next. That ties into why haunted houses are so scary, right? Because there's this game, I think I don't know if I talked about it on the show. It's called Anatomy. It's a little indie horror game. Great. I think about it all the time. And the idea is like the home, ideally, is the place where you feel safest. And obviously that is not always true for many reasons. But in an ideal world, that is the place where you are safe from the outside. And what if your house is the place where you are in the most danger? What if that is, and you can't leave it? That twist of like the place that is supposed to be safe is not in any way, shape, or form is tied exactly into the spaceship thing. That's why they're both so horrifying. I think specifically with Space 2, the other thing is like, with Friday the 13th, like, yeah, they're stuck in Crystal Lake, but like, there's a town a couple miles down the road. If they could just like run fast enough, or what, if they could get a car to run, like they could go get some cops or whatever. Like the cops always show up at the end for the most part. If you're in space, the next person is like indeterminate amounts of time away, and you can't walk there. You have to have a mode of transportation.
Yeah,
You have to have a functioning ship.
When Sam Neill is doing like the, so here's what we have found. So here's what we found with the Event Horizon. Lawrence Fishburne says like, you need to explain why we're 80,000 clicks like past Neptune or whatever. And the last two ships that came out here like died. Yeah. You need to explain yourself on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so much of horror is like, a place you presume to be safe, like, isn't, whether it's,
Yeah.
whether it's your own home or suburbia or, like, the bright pristine fields in midsummer or whatever. Like, oh, this seems safe until all of a sudden there's bodies.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, really, you do rely on, the home is your fortress or whatever. The ship is your, your vessel. You're stuck otherwise.
Yep.
And yeah, whether you're being isolated or whether you're just encapsulated, either of those are just like, terrifying. God, sorry. I just love, I don't have an end to the sentence. I just love this genre.
I think one of the reasons I really like it on film is because I think it is a concept that you can do a lot of stuff with a camera that you, like, couldn't do in other forms of media. There's so much of, like, because you're inside it with the characters, and you can get that sense of, like, it's so much more sort of immersive in a way, where so, like, the environment is, like, part of the oppressiveness. You're, like, you feel like you're stuck there too.
Yeah.
Which is really, I think, works really, like, viscerally.
In The Shining specifically, anytime Jack Nicholson's character, whose name is also Jack, is hanging out in, like, the lobby on his little, like, typewriter, like, you can feel the expansiveness of that massive lobby, because you can, like, hear the echo when people are walking around. There's that whole tracking shot sequence when the camera is, like, following Danny on his little tricycle, and you can, like, hear him go over, like, hardwood floors and carpets, and then hardwood floors and carpets, and, like, turn around different corners until all of a sudden, come play with us, Danny, etc. That part of the film. But, like, and it'll show, like, Jack at his typewriter from, like, the next story up and, like, down at a high angle, and you're just like, he's the only, like, beating heart in, like, 500 feet in any direction. And you can hear that, and you can hear, like, the clicking of his keys, and you can just see all the space around him. And there's, like, so many cool ways of showing not just that set design. I'm sure you could describe it in a novel, but, like, you can show that just through set design implicitly. And it can be so unnerving.
Yeah. No, for real.
I love set design.
Set design fucks. Thinking about, like, there's a fucking, this whole time I've been thinking about this book series that I've been meaning to read for literally a decade. I think I might have bought the first one at some point and then, like, gotten rid of it at some point when I moved, but it's the Gormenghast trilogy, which is, like, very notable for being, like, a genus loci, which is, like, that's the, like, Latin name for, like, the spirit of a place. The idea that there's some sort of animation or, like, consciousness to a location in a piece of fiction. And, like, this is a thing that fucking, now I'm just thinking about, which is a term that I first learned from the fucking Dresden Files, of all things. That shows up in one of the later Dresden Files novels anyway, whatever. There's a banger episode of the Dresden Files that effectively does this, where everybody's trapped in the void inside of Harry's apartment. Watch the Dresden Files television show, everybody. Is that show good? I don't care.
Not the point always.
I love it. No, really not the point always. But I just, that just, like, as a concept and kind of the sort of unique ways that you can do that on film, like, just fascinate the shit out of me. I don't know.
I mean, because it's communicating, like, a thing we all kind of believe anyway about the places that we occupy. You can anthropomorphize your own home easily, you hear a creak, it's like, oh, it's just the floor settling or whatever. You attribute that to bones or whatever.
People are always talking about how places have character,
good bones,
etc.
Yeah, we familiarize and anthropomorphize the spaces we occupy, and when you start to say that out loud to someone, you're like, oh, this old girl, my home, my house I live in, you sound a little nuts. But if you like show it in cinema, like all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're all familiar. Sorry, the fucking
everybody goes, okay,
like,
and then it, tries to eat you.
Yeah, the anthropomorphization of places. We're all familiar.
What's the fucking animated TV show where the whole house is basically a mimic?
Encanto?
Are you thinking about the Monster House movie?
Maybe?
From like 2005-ish?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
I've never actually... I just remember seeing like a clip from it and thinking, oh yeah, this is like if a whole house was a mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was groundbreaking mocap back in 2005.
I'm gonna take your word for it because I literally don't even remember anything other than the concept.
Oh, I remember they were pushing that a lot because like whatever, Return of the King had like just come out like 2 years prior or whatever, and they were like, look, we can make whole movies like this. The technology that brought you Gollum now brings you this fucked up house.
Yeah,
just what I wanted.
Which I love. I love that. Yeah.
And then Robert Zemeckis was like, I'm gonna make the ugliest Christmas Carol you've ever seen using the same power.
Really, really just like, once again, the hubris of man. Ooh, this is a concept that shows up in... I'm thinking about like location horror in Lord of the Rings. Anyway, and like the legacies of places will like fuck you up or whatever. Anyway, hauntings. It's all hauntings all the way down, I guess.
A lot of corpses in this swamp, Mr. Frodo.
I like it when I also particularly enjoy when what it is you're being haunted by is like, like your own hubris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go watch The Terror, everyone.
Yeah. That's the, like, oh no, we did this, and now we have to live with the consequences.
Or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, and then we have to die with the consequences.
And now we have to die with the consequences. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so... I don't know.
Yeah, not talking about a movie that neither of you have seen, but the first Resident Evil movie is extremely loosely based on the game, and I'll end it there. But the idea is they spend most of the time in an underground laboratory, basically. And there's zombies there. Wow, who would have guessed? And two of the characters have amnesia. They don't remember who they are, why they're there. They know they work for Umbrella, but that's all they really know. And they know they need to shut this facility down. And the big twist, to spoil Resident Evil for you, is that one of the characters with amnesia realized that he's the one who started this whole incident, and he did it on purpose so he could escape with the virus and sell it for boatloads of money. And that's the betrayal, is like, oh, you're the reason half of our team is dead and this whole facility is full of zombies. And he's like, yeah, and I'd do it again. Hello, female protagonist, do you want to run with me? And she's like, no, you fucking asshole. And he's like, great, I'm gonna try and kill all of you. And then he dies.
Good.
But yeah, so that's an interesting twist, because he doesn't care. He's like, oh, I did all this. Who gives a shit? Which I think is interesting.
Good for me.
Wild.
Yeah.
Who amongst us hasn't tried to pull a Dennis Nedry?
Yeah, that is another example of like... But it is both the, like, we are trapped here with the thing, which is the dinosaurs, but also it's like, this place became fucked up because somebody did something specifically that made them all get trapped here with the dinosaurs, and then he died about it.
Just saying, like, once again, perhaps we should not have made the ship that runs on a black hole.
Not to talk about Event Horizon, I guess, again, because we keep talking about Event Horizon.
Whole reason, like definitely a big part of the reason I was doing the show was like I was thinking about Event Horizon.
I thought it was fascinating when they walked into the room with the engine. And first of all, you look at that room, which is full of spikes, and you think, wow, this shit's evil. Hello?
It's so evil!
And then secondly, it's got the like spinning rings around that, and I'm like, be not afraid? Like, what the genuine fuck?
100, because it's like you go from like 90s like grungy kind of vaguely diesel punky sci-fi vibes.
Alien. It's an alien
like,
ship. Like,
yeah, to like you fucking walk into this room and you're like, this is cult shit. Like, we have crossed the fucking barrier over into, like, fucking high fantasy, like, you know, end of the world cult shit. Everything's, like, engraved. Why is it all engraved? Fucking, what does that have to do with the science? Don't ask, fam.
Yeah.
Why did nobody look at that room and they all see that room? And isn't it until stuff starts going bad that people think, like, hey, maybe there's something wrong with this engine. And I know that that's, like, you just have to buy into the fact that, like, that's just how it is, I guess. But I'm like, Sam Neill, you designed this engine to look like this.
You fucking see that thing and immediately just brick it.
When, I think it's the crewman whose, like, last name is, like, Cooper, is, like, trying to catch the guy who's drifting out of the black hole. And they're both drifting toward the walls. And he, like, notices the spikes for the first time. And, like, lets out an audible, what the hell is this for?
Yeah,
It's so good.
He's clearly supposed to be the comedy relief, right? But I'm like, so much of what he says, I was like, yeah, man, that's
You're
the
right.
correct reaction to this situation. And obviously that movie ends up taking a turn from the, like, kind of psychological, like, we are being haunted by, like, whatever is beyond the black hole, right? Like, the like, sunshine, that kind of stuff. And it ends up turning into a, like, we're going to hell.
Yeah, like,
maybe
you're like,
literally?
it is quite possibly literally the devil.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, the actual, like, Catholic Satan.
Yeah,
I mean,
the guy says that shit in Latin, and it's like, save yourselves from hell, and it's like...
It's I love it so much. It's just balls to the wall. Like, this movie does not make any fucking sense.
Yes, I can understand, after having seen this film, I was like, I get why this movie was panned. I understand. Because it really takes a turn at the end
that's fair.
to be a different movie.
It is very much two different films.
Yes. And did I really enjoy the other half of that movie? Yes. Could I understand why maybe some film critics looked at that and said, yeah, they kind of let down on the premise at the end there. They kind of lost the thread at the end. Yeah, that's accurate. I understand. God, it was fucking insane and I had a great time. There was blood everywhere.
There's so much. Just straight up, like, 3/4 of the way through that movie, Jason Isaacs just gets, like, NBC Hannibal tabloed out of nowhere,
and
you're
rules.
like, where did this come
There's
from?
a Shining moment. There's a literal fucking this tank person, it's a wave of blood water, and you're like, yeah, man, sure.
That's the one.
They just threw a whole bunch of things into that movie that they thought were cool, and I love it.
Oh, that's the Shining moment you're referring to, because I was thinking of another Shining moment that's also
There's
that.
that is fair. There are literally at least 2, like, extremely explicit Shining call-outs.
Because there's also the moment where his wife or ex-wife greets him in the bathroom like it's the haunted bathroom from The Shining.
Yeah.
It's you're right with the be not afraid thing, because, like, not only are there, like, obviously the rotating wings, which look like the biblically accurate angels thing from Ezekiel, which is only, not to get nerdy about it, it's only the second tier of angels, but whatever, who cares.
It's only
but,
the
like,
second
the
tier
windows
of
are
black
crosses.
hole engines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it is hardcore meant to, like, evoke all of that. And there's, like, a transition point where, like, all of a sudden you go from the most fucked up episode of Next Gen to like, switching over to, right, the first half has, like, intense Next Gen vibes, right?
It really does. It really has, like, what if we did Star Trek Next Generation does horror.
Yeah. Also by Paramount too. So, hey folks, if you have a script that gets rejected for an episode of Next Gen, you can make a little horror movie out of it. And then it, like, switches over, and all of a sudden people are quite literally speaking Latin in a cross-filled spaceship from a giant, like, angel-looking engine that devours blood and is seemingly activated by blood.
Yeah.
The engine needs to feed.
At one point,
like,
Lawrence Fishburne, who's the captain, is like, and is also obviously, due to the timeline, fairly young in this movie, which was interesting to see. Sam Neill looks exactly the same as he does in, like, every Sam Neill movie. But he's like, you can walk home, basically. He's like, we have to leave this ship. We are ready to leave this ship. If you're not coming with us, then you can walk home. Sam Neill says, I already am home, and fades into the darkness. And you're like, I think
you're
that's
just
the
like,
turning point where it's like, oh, this is where he's... And immediately, that moment, I was like, oh, fuck? And then he has a moment where he's like, oh, maybe I'm fine, actually. No, he's not.
No.
He
to be fair, that is kind of the moment at which...
That's the end.
Yeah, that is kind of the moment at which that movie, like, just throws caution to the wind. Which, again, I'm like, you know, I guess I understand why people... I think the level of panned was unfair.
I would not give it a 28%.
No, that's pretty brutal.
Yes. Was it, who was the critic? It was Robert...
Probably Roger Ebert.
Roger, yeah. Gave it like a 2 out of 4 and was like, yeah, here are the things I really liked about it, here are the things I didn't like so much. That part of the review I read, I was like, yeah, I think I agree with those criticisms. I maybe would give it like a 2.5. Or, because 4 is obviously a really tight scale, it's hard for me to be able to...
really tight scale, I hate
that. You know, this is another area where like my good versus rules comes into play here, where I'm like, is this movie a really good movie? I think there are parts of it that are really good and I really liked. Yeah, does it rule? Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Totally.
I want to know. I have got to know if they actually set Lawrence Fishburne on fire. Because I don't think that's a stunt guy. Unless they really, really carefully cut his final sequence in the weird fucking, like, pool of mysterious liquid that may or may not sort of be on fire at the end.
Yeah.
That rips.
He is flailing around in there, and I'm like, did they actually be like, hey Larry, do you want to just like
some fire stunts?
Be on fire? Like, it's not a full body burn, you'll be fine. It really fully looks like they set Lawrence Fishburne on fire a little bit for this movie.
Which is kind of cool.
I mean,
which is buck wild.
Because it's come up.
Also, the special effects the special effects in that movie hold up really well. That movie was made in 1997.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so obviously there's a lot of practicals. Those are like most of that is sets. Like, and it looks really good.
It looks really good.
I like thinking about certain creatives' timelines and whatnot. Getting his next project was Matrix.
Fuck off.
He had to get Event Horizon out of the way.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Sam Neill made In the Mouth of Madness between Jurassic Park and this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was he was in his horror era. Yeah. He did. I looked this up. He did Possession in 1981, which is a cult classic movie where he also gets really fucked up and it's over the top and insane. I read like the Wikipedia description to be like, is this anything? And I was like, yeah, this sounds insane. I have to see it. And so he did that. Then he did, I think, mostly just kind of some normal shit. And then he did Jurassic Park, obviously movie of the century. And then he did John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness, another movie of the century. And then he did Event Horizon.
Really rude of you to skip over Memoirs of the Invisible Man.
That's right.
Bangers only.
Right.
And now he's
a movie I have not seen.
Of course I missed him. He's invisible.
He's not.
He's actually not the Invisible Man.
I just wanted to make that face.
Man.
That's Chevy Chase.
Yeah, excuse me.
Okay, I have no clue what you're talking about. I just went for the
we have to find this. We have to find this clip then that was going around Twitter. But we can do that in a little bit.
Well,
oh god,
it's because it's another John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
So
that's my guy.
I definitely want to talk about In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah.
While I have you,
we'll have to be very careful about how we talk about it because we want Z to see it.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about spoilers for this movie. I don't think that's going to. Okay.
It's one of those. Okay. I am also someone who doesn't care about spoilers, but like, trust me, you want to care about spoilers for this one.
Okay. All right.
Also,
fair.
Two,
okay.
I think it's going to be kind of
you guys
hard.
Need to
No, it's okay. It's also, I think, going to be kind of hard to explain. I think we can give you the like premise and stuff without getting into the meat of it, and it'll be fine.
But before we touch In the Mouth of Madness, I absolutely see why Capcom executives were like, we want you, Paul W.S. Anderson. you're making Resident Evil for us.
Yeah.
And then Licorice Pizza.
Oh my god.
That's a different Paul Anderson, sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like it is genuinely worth it to say that, like, Event Horizon got just, like, massacred in the editing room.
That does not surprise me.
So, I think there is sort of a thought that perhaps, like, some of this is kind of two different movies would have been smoothed out by some of this stuff that they were kind of just like, fuck it, you cannot have this movie be this long.
Yeah. It's not even that long of a movie. It's like an hour and 40 minutes.
The original one was 130 minutes, which would have been 2 hours and 10 minutes, which like,
for the 90s is egregiously long.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
We've era of the 3-hour movie is like nothing.
These days, I'm like, somebody says, oh, it's only 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm like, cool, I would actively prefer to go see this rather than any of the other things that are gonna make me sit here for, like, almost 3 hours.
Like, what do these people think they are? Pee. Return of the King? I think not.
Do these people not pee?
I mean, most people pee beforehand, but...
I mean, anyway. Yeah. I don't know where I was going. Anyway, so in the mouth of madness. Mouth?
Yes.
Mouth?
In the mouth of madness. Before we get to that, you were going to... Or was that just making
it was the joke. It was like, it's so cool that they were like, no, you need to make our Resident Evils.
Yeah.
That is very fun.
Yeah.
Those movies are not very
good, but, like, they do rule. But they're like, especially as, like, a Resident Evil fan, I do watch them and I think, this is nothing, like, this is not an adaptation of the video game in any sense of the phrase. Are they movies that kind of kick ass? Yeah, totally. But they're like fan fiction of the video games. They're like a teen girl self-insert fan fiction of the video games, which I like. But I just wish they had spent more time in the house set. They spent 10 minutes hanging out in this cool big fuck-up mansion. Hell yeah, love it. Haunted house, zombies in the house, cool. No, just kidding, we're gonna go hang out in the lab. I wanted them to hang out in the house. Whatever. Anyway.
I like when the house is haunted. I like when there's a haunting on Hill House.
I like when there's a haunting on Hill House, which I still need to see. I think that, like... So... God, we have to do the math about this. I think that when something that I am missing from the, like, zombie genre that I actually like in the first Resident Evil movie is they are trapped in that lab with the zombies. Because most zombie movies, you're allowed to go wherever you want. The scary part is that the zombies never stop, and no matter how far you run, you cannot outrun them because they just keep coming. It's the inevitability that's scary, but I like when you combine that with the inevitability is really, really fast. We are on a time limit because not only can we not, like, outrun them ever, there's not a lot of places to fucking go.
Right. There's an immediacy of it.
Yes. Which I think works well for a movie format, too. In, like,
of course. Right, yeah, anyway. The horror of, like, your standard, like, Night of the Living Dead.
28 days later.
Well, I mean, I guess the horror of your Walking Dead, the TV show, is that, like, yeah, eventually we will run out of medicine, and the apocalypse has given plenty of people permission to just become authoritarian egomaniacs Warlords, and all that. Yeah. You know, the world is falling apart, but it is falling apart at different speeds for different people, and eventually we'll all die. Versus stuff where it's like, you know, Night of the Living Dead, the horror is, the zombies might break into this house.
Yeah. Which I prefer. Now. I find, like, the horror of, like, society is breaking down is like, yeah, I'm live in that here. Movie. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm like, come on, fam. I woke up this morning and checked Twitter, I know.
Yeah. Where I like the, like, which is why I think I like Resident Evil so much, because so much of it is like, it's not society, it's like, this one company is super evil and maybe we could do something about that, but we can't do anything about it right now because there's zombies outside this door. We gotta deal with that shit first. I think that is what I like about that so much. And it's also why I find I don't mind zombies. I like them. I think they're interesting, but I don't watch a lot of zombie media because so much of it is like, but what if humans were the real evil? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know we are. And what are you going to do that's interesting about that, though?
But the thing is, I don't even necessarily agree with that premise. I don't think, not to get too deep, I don't think humans are inherently evil, and I find that take to be kind of overdone. I find that to be, like, boring, where it's like, what if humans were the cause of global, like, it's the fucking eco-fascist shit where they're like, if people start dying, you know, it's like, man, whatever. I think that in times of crisis we come together and help each other, and also there's zombies outside, so we have to band together to fight the zombies. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Anyway.
Hi, Amanda.
Anyway, In the Mouth of Madness.
Right. In the Mouth of Madness is a movie that I was not aware existed until Blank Check did their John Carpenter series. I now, in retrospect, maybe think it is one of the greatest movies of the 90s.
It's really good.
It's
Obviously,
really
John Carpenter
good.
is a great director. But it's an interesting premise. It's an interesting execution of an interesting premise. It's an interesting take on a fairly tried and true version of horror, which is the Lovecraftian, like, cosmic horror, the unseeable. It handles the fact that there are horrors that we cannot describe in a really great way. There's a scene where he is at the end where he is escaping and the like monsters are chasing after him, and all you see of them is brief flashes in different angles. You see them from behind, you just see their feet, you see him looking over his shoulder, he's in focus and they're not. It's the perfect way of like, yeah, you get an idea maybe of what they look like, but you don't get to see them because they're indescribable. It's so good.
And also, John Carpenter overall, well, I mean, okay, the hook of Lovecraftian horror, right, by and large, is like, you know, it's the what you imagine it to be is worse than me literally showing you thing. You know, and that's been a staple in horror for so long. That's why in Alien, the alien doesn't show up until the last like 10 minutes or whatever. You know, it's plenty of concepts have adopted that. People agree, yeah, like that's the case. And Lovecraft obviously has kept that going. I think in an era where like Cthulhu has been given a lot of mass media exposure in the last 20 years.
You could buy like a Funko Pop of Cthulhu.
Right, yeah. And so like, you know, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, but I think we've kind of like we're kind of leaving the engine running on Lovecraftian stuff, and I think at some point we're going to find out we've run out of gas.
Yeah.
For leaving the car on.
Yeah.
I don't drive. I don't know how cars work. I think that metaphor tracks.
Yeah, no. You're good.
But like I think John Carpenter does a really good job of like actually doing I can show you the horror.
Yeah.
I actually can get away with showing you the horror. And it's going to be fucked up, and it's going to be brief, and it's all you're going to be able to think about for the next couple of days.
Yeah. There were plenty of shots of that movie that I just, like, even between seeing it today and seeing it when we saw it all those months ago, I just kept thinking about, like, particular shots that and the effects are really cool. There's some great, like, CG effects that still look goddamn incredible. Oh my god, they're so good. So the premise of In the Mouth of Madness, for Ezra and also people who haven't seen it, is Sam Neill plays a insurance inspector who is going to investigate this publishing firm, their big selling author, whose name is Sutter Kane. He sells books by like the millions. He has outsold every author on the market. He sells basically pulp horror. He's a Stephen King. They reference like Stephen King that he outsells Stephen King.
Okay.
And they're filing an insurance claim of like this man has gone missing, but like he hasn't finished his most recent book, and we've already put in rights to a film. We've already got like get ready to get it translated. Like we need to get our money back for all the stuff we've prepped for this book, or we need to find him so he can finish writing this book. And Sam Neill's character, who I think his name is John
Trent.
Yeah. is like known for finding like cons. He thinks this is all a fraud. He's like, okay, they've sent him away somewhere. They're trying to get their money back, and then they'll mysteriously find him, and he'll finish his book. Whatever.
He specifically thinks this is a marketing hoax.
Yeah.
They're being like, Stephen King has disappeared while writing his latest novel.
And his books drive people crazy. Because they do. They're like, one of the things about his books is like, yeah, sometimes people who are of a more fragile mind who read his books get delusions because they're so scary. And so he thinks, and he gets attacked by the guy's agent before he takes this job. And so he thinks like, oh yeah, this is part of the ploy, is like people are reading his most recent book and going insane. And now he's gone missing. Ooh. And nobody knows where he is. And he pieces together the guy's location from, like, cutting out pieces of the covers of all his books and putting them together. There's red lines in all of his books, and he cuts them out, and he's like, this is fucking New Hampshire. And it's this fake town that he named his most recent book after called Hobbs End. And so he and Cade's editor, who is played by... God, I just looked her up. Doesn't matter. She's very good. Have to go and find him. The publisher is like, we're going to send her with you. You're going to go and find him. And they end up in this town, which is the fucked up place. This is the fucked up place that they can't get out of because it's very hard for them to get into it. They kind of like, can't find it. Weird shit happens. Suddenly they're there. And every time they try and drive out of town, they end up back in town.
Yeah.
I love that device.
Yeah. Julie Carmen.
Thank you.
Also, Z, for some little hints of the cast. John Glover plays the psychiatrist at the asylum.
Okay.
And the book publishing company owner is Charlton Heston.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Jürgen Prochnow
also,
is
I
the
think
author.
it's a very young Hayden Christensen who plays a bit part.
Fuck me.
8-year-old
so
Hayden
funny.
Christensen
Yes. Oh my
plays
God.
a paperboy.
He shows up right at the end, and I forgot until right before he was about to show up, and I was watching it, I was like, oh, no! And then he showed up, and I was like, oh, fuck!
It's so fucking funny.
Okay, I just checked.
This is the subgenre of this is the flavor of this subgenre that we're calling the you can clock out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
I mean, honestly,
Silent Hill falls under this too, which is the like every
Yes.
time people get stuck in this Silent Hill, they get stuck in Silent Hill and they can never leave. Either the roads are out or like anytime they try, they have to stay there for some reason. I love that like this town is fucked up and you cannot leave it no matter what you do. There's Oxenfree is a little bit like this. Any location where it's like, because there's like your house, your ship, anything like that. I love a town where like there are multiple locations you can walk to.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can do. Your leash is only so long.
Yeah.
The Wicker Man is like this where he's like, he's on the island.
God, I wanna watch
Shutter
that
Island,
again.
obviously. The Final Girls, they're stuck in the movie and they're time looping through the movie. So they could go anywhere they want
that.
in the realm of the film, but they can't leave the film until it's finished. They have to finish the movie.
Oh, that's so good. I want to watch that really bad.
Yeah, we've
it's
talked
so
about
good.
we've talked about the causes, I guess, of like, you know, it's fucked up because of the events that happened here. But there's like a bit of like a sliding gradient between like how much you can leave or how isolated or how encapsulated it is as a convention of horror. Because kind of, I mean, obviously the thing with like all horror is that you can't get away from it. You know, like, and that's true of Scream as much as it is in The Mouth of Madness. Like, someone is outside your house with a knife, or no matter how far you drive on this highway, you will always come back to the town you just left from.
Yeah.
Like, but there's
You know,
there's
they
a sliding...
could feasibly walk out of Crystal Lake if they could get away from Jason, but like, you know, versus like, yeah, he could feasibly take a boat off of the island in the Wicker Man, but that's not the point.
I would simply leave Shutter Island.
Yeah.
But like, you
the
know,
Blair Witch Project, where like no matter what they do, they can never get out of the woods. But like, you know, if they hadn't thrown the map away or whatever, if they hadn't had the, yes. Anyway, I'm providing more examples to bolster your explanation, but I don't need to do that.
Well, I mean, in Terminator, you can get as far away as you can, but the Terminator is still looking for you.
Zombies.
You know,
Zombies are the exact same thing. Like, no matter
Yeah.
how far you walk, they're always walking. You have to sleep. They don't.
exactly. So there's always like plenty of a degree of like you can't escape the horror, or else it just wouldn't be horror. Whether that's true of your own past sins, or zombies, Dracula. I would simply just defeat Dracula by standing in the middle of the daylight. But
Yeah,
whatever.
the thing with Dracula, interestingly enough, is they end up going after him. Like, they could just leave it alone, they just, like, won't.
Oh wait, fuck! Night happens. Never mind. He can get you at night.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I forgot the sun goes down at some point. Never mind. That plan sucks.
But also, like, I mean, that is true. The thing about Dracula is that, like, Dracula is not. Yeah, they show up like we have to take care of the Dracula problem. Dracula doesn't like make himself their problem.
Right.
He does a little bit, right? But after
He's a
the
little
whole
bit, but,
Lucy
like-
situation, like, if they had just been like, whatever, like, we're just gonna leave that one alone, it probably would have been fine.
But there's like a on the infinite number line of types of this or whatever, we're like bracketed on this one section that is like, and you can't leave this house, you can't leave this town.
No, it's about place.
Yeah. The brakes on your car are cut. The last boat has left the island. There's a storm. It's very locational based.
There isn't some other extenuating circumstances that is preventing that. I mean, there can be, right? There isn't like a girl just go like Halloween is like, yeah, she like leaves the house. She's not like trapped in the town or whatever. Like, she goes to other houses and stuff. That's not the problem here. The problem is that Michael Myers is big and scary and teleports probably.
I do like, I think the thing that I'm getting at personally is that I really like the ones where, like, you physically cannot leave.
Mm-hmm.
There is some sort of either seemingly mundane or, like, overtly supernatural thing where it's like, you are physically trapped here.
Right. Boat's out of gas.
It is
Like,
out of your hands in every possible sense of the word.
It does not matter, it does not matter how far you drive. The road always leads back here.
Yeah.
Or, there's like, I guess, like, I was kind of thinking, like, Annihilation did a little bit of that. Where it's literally like a bubble of fucked up shit. And, like, once you go in there, like, your ability to come back out is not certain.
Right. I have that book on hold. I've never seen the movie, but I have the book on
And
hold.
I don't know. I always think it's cool because it's like, this is very much the kind of thing where, like, obviously, most of these stories, like, nobody gets out. But, like, also, like, the people that, if anybody does get out, like, do you ever really leave?
Right. Which, spoilers, happens for Event Horizon for sure.
Yes.
And also, I mean, not even really a spoiler, because it happens in the opening scene of In the Mouth of Madness. Happens in the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah. I just that trope just makes me, like, there are plenty of horror things that make me go in, like, a bad way. This one makes me go in, like, I want more of it way.
Yeah, extremely same. Yeah, and to wrap up the summary of that movie, like, he goes to this town, he's like, I'm looking for Sutter Kane. Does anyone know who Sutter Kane is? And they're like, yeah, people are either alternately like, oh yeah, he works over there in that creepy Gothic cathedral in the middle of this small town. Or people are like, I've never heard of Sutter Kane.
Yeah, I think for the most part, they're like, I've never heard of this man until they get to the point where, like, a bunch of guys from the town go up to this big fucking, like, all black cathedral to be like, hey, give me my kid back, Sutter Kane. And that's when they're like, oh shit, he is here.
Yeah.
Because the townspeople are trying to, like, kill him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm not going to spoil what is essentially a very short sentence that is the entire hook of the movie. I can only recommend that anybody who is listening to this, Ezra, you as well, just watch the movie In the Mouth of Madness. Watch it with me.
Yeah, all right.
But it is absolutely just like, this area, this whole area is bad. And like, you know, the tropes of these kind of stories are playing out in really interesting ways. And John Carpenter is not afraid to show you how they are playing out. Even if it's stuff like, you know, from tiny stuff like the furniture is moving to like big stuff like there may be a Cthulhu. And it rips. One scene literally.
Yeah, yes. That final scene is like, oh my god, it's so
Samuel in the movie theater?
like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm saying nothing more.
Yeah. It's a perfect, horrible full circle.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
I also
love
love
when things are inescapable.
I was gonna say something else. I'm not going to. Yeah, it's Fuck! I forgot to put Doom on here. I was talking about Doom with you guys earlier, and I was thinking about like the place that they can't escape is Mars. And I put Pitch Black on here. I put Pitch Black on here because the point they can't leave this planet they've crash landed on. I like this is a super niche. It's very sci-fi. The like, we are stuck in this place. It's a whole planet. That doesn't help us though, because like once again we need a spaceship to get out of here. It's kind of a shoot off of the like Alien Event Horizon thing, but instead it's, you know, we're on a planet, like we've got breathable air and shit, you know, it could be a lot worse, except it is actually a lot worse, and it's getting worse all the time.
And everything around the settlement is sand.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what else I just realized sort of does this in a way that I fucking love is fucking Gideon the Ninth.
Oh, still I'm not right.
Oh yeah.
There are definitely some like there's actually a kind of a lot of layers of like you are trapped in this place and something is wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
We love
and it
love
is,
a like nebulous there's something wrong here in horror.
Yeah.
Right? There's always just this feeling of like something is wrong, but I don't know what.
I think I like it because it you can do. I don't like jump scares because I physically do not enjoy adrenaline dumps.
Yeah.
That is a sensation that I find like physically unpleasant after I have an anxiety disorder, and just like violent adrenaline dumps were just like such a fucking, I had a lot of them for free and they sucked. And now like I just don't really find the like startle reflex of a jump scare to be particularly fun for me. Mm-hmm. I get that it is pleasurable for a lot of people, and I'm one of those people where I'm just like, this is a physical sensation that I would prefer to avoid or have deployed like sparingly. Yeah. And so I think like the atmospheric creep of
unsettling
the place is the thing that is wrong lets me get that like ratcheting tension feeling without having to like jump.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that takes me out of the moment because it makes me physically uncomfortable.
Which again, you know, set design, etc. But that's something I love about Shining as well, and that's something I love about like Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Amityville, which I watched for the first time last night. I read the book, the Jay Anson book, years ago. In fact, that's why I decided to pitch y'all ParaScience.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was reading that book. I'm like, man, this is fun. Could write my own. But what was I getting at? Amityville, the house, it's the things that happen in the house that are scary. The house itself looks normal as hell. I take that back. Actually, there are the giant attic windows that look like eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's scary. They seem to always glow red. But I watched Amityville, the movie, last night in preparation for this. And that's like... There's a type of you can't leave we haven't covered yet, which is you are unwilling to leave. Because in that one, you know, we've talked about like, obviously, hey, Shining, there's a snowstorm. There's not enough gas in the car, your brakes were cut, whatever. All those, you are supernaturally unable to leave here because the road keeps looping back around. In Amityville, it's like, it's the economic issue of, and hell, Midnight Mass has this too. It's the economic issue of like, actually, so does Haunting of Hill House, the Netflix TV show, not the original Shirley Jackson book. Although a little bit of the Shirley Jackson book as well, which is like the economic issue of like, you've just spent all your money trying to get here.
Yeah.
You can't leave now,
Literal, like the horror of the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah. And which is why like Amityville Horror, for those of you who don't know, Amityville Horror, for those of you who don't know, is like the quintessential, like more modern kind of haunted mansion story, or haunted house rather story, which is just the like, a dad moves the family into a new place. We're going to start a new life here. We just spent all our money buying this old house. And then a series of, upside down crucifixes and bleeding walls later.
House of Leaves.
Is that what that's about?
Sort of. I struggle to say that House of Leaves is about any one specific thing. Also, I've never finished House of Leaves.
Well, neither have I.
Right.
But House of Leaves is kind of House of Leaves is very much this concept in a way where it's like the house is the main character of that story.
The thing...
is...
Sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, it's totally fine. I guess, like, the way that one starts is that the house is, like, it starts off really small. Like, the measurements of the inside of the house don't match up to the floor plan of the house perfectly. And then it starts to get more and more different. And, like, the everything fragments kind of as the house, then, like, narrative fragments as the house fragments, in a way. And, like, it becomes very, there's very much sort of, like, Labyrinth, not the David Bowie film, but, like, the Labyrinth kind of. I think there might be Minotaur shit in House of Leaves. I have not fucked around with House of Leaves since I was like 19 or something.
I believe that's the perfect age to read it.
And it was very like, I wanted to finish it, and then like I don't know. I have no clue what's happening with my brain at that age.
There's also a lot going on in that book. That's why I really liked what I was reading. I didn't finish it because it's just like visually
it's such a fucking project.
Yeah.
It is such a fucking project.
It is a fascinating experiment in the way you can write a book and lay out a book, which I really like.
Yeah.
But that means you have to spend more time trying to process what's happening on the page in a way that you don't with, like, basically every other book under the sun. So that's why I didn't finish it personally. But it's a great, fascinating premise. And it is, I think the thing on the description on the back of the book literally is just like it's like mom, dad, 2 kids, and they're measuring like the outside of the house versus the inside of the house. And there's like, it's something really minuscule, right? It's like half a foot maybe that's like missing from the outside. There's like a gap somewhere on the upper floor, and they can't figure out like what's there. And it gets worse from there.
Yeah. Love when it gets worse from there.
Yeah. Some of my favorite horror is just, and it gets worse from there.
That's one where, like, you have got to get a physical copy of that book.
Yes.
Oh, because there's a bunch of where literally, like, the text will suddenly be arranged in a fucking spiral or something like that. Book must be a nightmare for dyslexic people.
Yeah, I also don't know how you would do it in audiobook.
Oh yeah, you just fucking couldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way. And it's like layers upon layers upon layers of footnotes. I remember seeing it there's like a few pages in there where somebody like, oh yeah, there's like a couple of lines of text and then there's all these footnotes around it, all this stuff, and I remember just thinking like, does this say study Talmud? Because that's what a page of Talmud looks like. Which did defang it slightly.
Yeah.
Can I be a dweeb and read this line from Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is... Ben, you come on this podcast and have to ask if you can be a dweeb?
Yeah, I know.
This is like peak dweeb zone.
I know.
This is a dweeb safe space.
I really like The Haunting of Hill House, the Netflix series, and I really like The Haunting of Hill House, the original book. And there is a line that gets used in both of them in a different context, depending on which version you're reading, or rather, the version or the TV show. Certainly, there are spots which inevitably attach themselves to an atmosphere of holiness and goodness. It might not be too fanciful to say that some houses are born bad. And I will say two things about that quote, which is that, boy, does that really, I think, strike a lot of what we've talked about today, which is that some places are just attract themselves to bad. Especially, obviously, the Hill House adaptation, and a lot of these things like Amityville or whatnot, where it's just like there are just spots on this earth that are rotten. And I love when it's stuff like literally like bad things happened here, so it maintains its evil, or evil was allowed to flourish here, or there's like due to our hubris we punched a hole through the galaxy or whatever and accidentally opened up maybe the hell dimension. We create our own horrors. The horrors were already here. Whatever, the fabric of the universe might be too weak here. I just love all that kind of stuff, whatever form it takes, but whatever makes it so that a house is inevitably just born bad. And the second thing is that this quote, this will not be the last time I read this on a podcast in front of you two. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're going to talk about ParaScience really quick, one of the things that I am obsessed with in media, which I actually have not found very often, I got the idea initially from Anatomy, and I ran a monster... Oh, no, it was Dread. I ran a Dread game, which I don't think either of you were in.
No.
Where the gang investigated a haunted house, and I'm really into the idea that like a home can grow a soul almost, but like anybody, when it is abandoned, when it is isolated, when it is by itself, that soul can become twisted through just kind of like loneliness, and then it becomes malicious. Right? Just like people are not supposed to be isolated for too long. Anatomy, the game I have talked about, is... Sub note, this I will probably cut out. Ben, we have to play Anatomy on stream when we get to like Halloween time. We have to play this game. And this is something I worked into the backstory of my ParaScience character. Of one of the things that he solved was family moves into a home that has been left alone too long and is happy because it has a family again. And then mom brings home a new dad, and the house does not like this. It does not like the idea that like, oh, they could be leaving. There's a new there's changes happening here. They have to leave, and starts trying to kill people. Out of like a misplaced sense of like jealousy and anxiety and fear. But it's a house. I am like, dude. Yeah. Which is in Event Horizon, they talk about like the ship is alive. It's trying to get rid of us. Like we're an infection. Oh, I love that so much. I love the idea of an inanimate object that you were inside of. It's like the fucking whale in Pinocchio. You are inside of it, and it has eaten you whole, and there is nothing you can do. Maddie, so tasty.
You will love the limited television series, The Haunting of Hill House.
I know, I really need to see it. The thing is like, I've talked about this on ParaScience Backstories. I think I've talked about it on the sequel too, is one of the kinds of horror I actually am not very good with is like ghosts. Is ghosts and demons and stuff like that. Which is why I've put off watching Hill House and Bly Manor and stuff like that. Because I hear they're really good, and I know I'll really like them once I start watching it. but also they scare me pretty bad in a way that most other stuff doesn't scare me.
I had to fucking read a detailed plot summary of every single episode of Bly Manor before I could actually enjoy it. Because it was so fucking... No, it was just, like, creeping me out to the point that I kind of just shut down. Because that's how I deal with with horror stuff. Like, if it gets over my threshold, I just stop paying attention. Because I'm like, nope, this is no longer fun for me.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I will physically sit here because there's been plenty of times in my life where it would have been like, I was like, I have to sit here to, like, be polite, but, like I can't just fucking leave. Because, we're at a sleepover or whatever, and, like, I don't have a car.
Sorry,
I can't, like, just drive home.
You can't just leave.
Yeah, you can't... Look, you cannot just go home at 1 o'clock in the morning because somebody decides that you gotta watch Silence of the fucking Lambs, and you just cannot handle Silence of the Lambs not happening, but, like, you don't have a car? I fucking carpooled with somebody. What am I gonna do? Walk home from Everett? No, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes the horror you can't escape from is social convention.
Yeah, so that's the story of how the first time I quote-unquote watched Silence of the Lambs, I literally was just, like, had my head inside my sleeping bag and listened to it like an audiobook.
Hello, Clarice.
Which was just weird.
Which is so funny because
I assume
genuinely...
kind of defanged it on some level.
It did, yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, sometimes I gotta spoil stuff so that I can appreciate it. Because otherwise I'm just, like, I get too freaked out to, like, I just can't. I'm like, nope. I turn into the fucking nope octopus.
I mean, I know I've mentioned this on Twitter. I'm sure I've mentioned this to the both of you. My primary exposure, before I became, like, a horror guy, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, prior to that, my horror experience was just reading Wikipedia summaries and going, "Welp, shan't be touching that, shall I?"
I mean, I've done that plenty of times,
It's really
too.
funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a horror guy. I'm just friends with a bunch of horror guys. And you guys sort of just, like... You guys kind of, like, scream things and then delicately, like, just hand me a like, very carefully selected, little cheese plate of things that I will actually like.
board.
And I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not a horror guy. You just play one on TV.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'm
play one on the
horror
radio.
adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, I'm not a horror guy. I just play one on the radio.
Can I psychoanalyze you for a second? And I'll cut this out of the episode if you would
Yeah.
like.
Sure.
I play Saint as a way to deal with my fear of ghosts, extra demons, that kind of thing is very... I was like, this is a way I can start to cope with that. You play a guy who analyzes everything he runs into and categorizes it for the government in a way that is very clinical. Do you think that's anything?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like scaring my friends.
Yeah. And then Nick was like, I want to play a cryptid fucker. And a cryptid.
Yeah.
And then, I can't think of a single reason.
Jules is cryptid for cryptid.
Yeah.
I don't know if that applies to me. I can't think of a single reason I might want to have, like, power over the situations that I'm forced into.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Loving the secret parasite. Hey, parasites people, you have to listen to this episode of Sneople because there's secret
I was gonna say, yeah, this is both this is like secretly a fucking Parasites bonus episode. We did say it was the crossover episode.
Yeah, crossover event of the season. Also, we
100%.
we normally record Parascience on opposite Mondays, so it just kind of bled over. Excited to play Parascience next week.
Yeah, I am. Oh my god, I can't. I just remember how fucking wild Parasites is gonna be next week.
This is Sneople
yeah.
people. If you have not started listening to Parascience yet and you like tabletop shows, please listen to Parascience. The three of us are on it. We're pretty fucking good.
If I could take that even one step further. Hey, if you haven't started listening to Parascience and you're not a fan of tabletop shows, start anyway. It's barely tabletop.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's like
it's
a
an
kind
improv
of a minimum
radio
amount
drama
of it. Yeah, there's like
with dice sometimes.
Yeah, it's an improv radio drama where sometimes with a sprinkling of dice.
The dice per
Are they voice
the
fighting?
dice per runtime rate is 1 per hour.
Yeah, roughly. Any final
Keep in
thoughts?
mind here that for Fate you roll 4 dice at a time.
Yeah, so 4 dice per episode, but it's 1 roll.
Yep.
Sometimes we do, depending on when, sometimes we'll do more than that. Anywho.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Any kind of wrap up? vibes we got here.
Yeah, no,
I only like watching horror movies with my friends.
Hey.
No, seriously, that's the thing is, like, this is something that I, like, 100% genuinely do not seek out on my own. I never do it. I'm like, it's just, if I'm just watching shit, I'm never gonna pick a horror movie. But I like watching horror movies with my friends who like horror movies.
Yeah. Horror for me...
This is a purely social activity for me.
Yeah, horror for me is also a collective thing. It has to be. Because I scare myself enough on my own.
I watch a lot of horror movies on my own, but I think horror is more fun in a group. I think there's something about the collective, like, oh, you got scared there, or the, like, oh, is it, like, the, like, talking about it, the commentary track of watching a horror is, I mean, watching a movie with people in general, I think, is so much better than watching it by yourself. But I think horror specifically, I think, lends so well to a group experience. It's
Sometimes
very comforting.
I like it when Maddie just tells me the plot of horror things.
Well, boy, do
I also, like, I
good
miss
news for you.
watching you play horror games.
Oh.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, especially the kind of stuff I play is I tend to... I don't know, I've been a gamer for a very long time. I hate that I just call myself a gamer, but I've been playing video games for a very long time. I feel very confident in them, even when I'm in a situation that is an unknown, like a horror game I've never played before. So, you know, even if you don't have control of the situation watching me, I have control of the situation.
Yeah,
and I generally... I generally, one, I'm not going to actively try and seek out scares. And two, if I get scared, usually I'm like, okay. And then I'll move on, right? Or I'll laugh. My reaction to getting scared is usually to laugh, so...
I would like nothing better than to just cancel all of my plans and obligations for a long weekend, show up at Maddie's apartment and be like, we have nothing to do for the next 3 days, I want to watch you play Pathologic.
Ben, did you have anything you wanted to...
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, I have a question right off the bat. Do you think we also like these because John Carpenter is so fucking good at them? Because I just went down his filmography and there's like 6.
Yeah, he puts out bangers. Like, I think John Carpenter is also a good director. Does he happen to mostly do horrors? Yeah. That doesn't necessarily matter to me. I just think that man knows what he's doing. He's got it down.
Arguably, Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, and Village of the Damned all count.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Genuinely king. King of horror.
John Carpenter's like, you know what I don't like? Shooting on location.
Yeah, I wouldn't either if I had the option.
He's like, you know what? I want to stay in one spot.
Yeah, I mean...
Spend all my money on special effects.
I don't want to just, like, conclusion paragraph
and make my
myself.
own cool music.
Yeah. I don't want to just conclusion paragraph myself, but, like, I'm kind of going to, which is just that, like...
Sure.
I like these kind of situations because it lends itself to a lot of character horror. And I find
they're
character
bottle
horror
episode
fascinating.
Yeah.
They're the bottle episodes of horror. Yeah.
I mean, I was only partially kidding when I was like, did your Star Trek script get rejected? Make it an independent horror movie. You can just do that.
Yeah.
Because, honest to God, like, because fucking Event Horizon kind of feels like it's a next-gen episode that has, like, Battlestar Galactica's, like, aesthetics. Yeah. At least on the ship that they're on at the beginning, not at the end. I don't know how many crosses there are in Battlestar Galactica.
I mean, the end just also turns into Hellraiser, as mentioned, so.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, no, I like character-driven horror. I like watching characters fall apart and, like, kind of, like, a little, give into the darkness kind of stuff. Whether they're unable to leave due to financial reasons or they're psychologically compelled to stay, or it's a poltergeist situation where they work there. Poltergeist also has a little bit you can't just leave to it.
More haunted workplace stories, frankly.
Oh, I'm on it.
Let's just ratchet up the horror of capitalist alienation.
I started playing Yuppie Psycho, which is a video game, and that's literally the plot is
oh my God.
office horror.
incredible.
Really good so far.
I really need to fucking watch Severance.
Yeah. Severance.
Please.
Control.
Somebody called it corporate horror, which I'm like, as someone who's been playing a fuckload of Shadowrun lately, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got horrific
Yeah.
concepts, but I think it's still a capital T thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
line
gray
between
area
those
there.
two can be thin sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I like watching characters break down. I like seeing that reflected in or caused by an environment. And yeah, it's not just that I am quite literally averse to blood and guts. Like, I like watching environmental based horror.
I like watching Sam Neill have a breakdown.
I love when Sam Neill has a breakdown. I
He's
love when
really
Sam
good
Neill
at
yells
it.
at the color blue.
Yeah.
I'm pissed at the color blue too sometimes.
I get it, man.
Fucking aquamarine and teal, pick one.
Fuck the Democrats.
Thank you for catching what I was hinting at.
Yeah. God, I did have a final thought, but I don't know what it was, so guess it really wasn't that important. Oh, that's why we do ParaScience. It's character-driven horror. It's
Yeah.
that's the point of it.
Yeah. Watching The Mouth of Madness. It is a movie that really contains my highest recommendation. Also,
Watch
Mike
Event
Flanagan rules
Horizon.
this shit.
Yeah. Watch Event Horizon because it rules. Watch Mouth of Madness because it's good. Listen to ParaScience. I love you.
Yeah. Because it's good and it rules.
Because it's good and it rules. Yeah, that's my thesis.
Watch John Carpenter's The Thing because 80s. It is like the king of 80s practical effects.
Someday I will.
The level of craft that went into that
We'll get
movie
ya.
is just unbelievably sexy.
Yeah.
On my hand to God, I thought you said Lovecraft.
Oh,
The level of
yes,
craft.
The
Yeah.
level of
Yeah.
craft. I don't know. Fucking go play Call of Cthulhu with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the works of the author H.P. Lovecraft. What is a joke? Does it need to have a setup?
I don't know. We
laughed.
haven't ever figured it out. Yeah. Play Oxenfree. That's my final.
Fuck
thought.
Oxenfree, man.
Dude, I watched somebody play Oxenfree. Oxenfree's fucking wild.
It's so
really
good.
enjoyed
Oxenfree 2 coming out this year.
Oh shit, I forgot about
I
that.
almost
Yeah.
feel I don't need to even say it, but like Oxenfree is a heavy influence on specifically Chapter 3.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Love that.
Yeah. Ben, I know you did your plugs at the beginning. We've been plugging ParaScience this whole time. Do you have anything else you wanna do your Twitter, talk about Syndicated some more, anything like that?
Well, who knows how much longer I'll have my Twitter.
Fair
Folks,
enough.
there was some recent corporate Twitter news this morning.
Yeah,
might
you
not
can
be
find
worth it to
Infinity
stay
Break
on
on
that site
Tumblr
anymore.
now.
Huh?
You can find Infinity Break on Tumblr now, a website that
Yeah.
I have never left. 12 years have been on that
watching
one.
everyone come trickling back.
So funny.
Yeah,
It's so funny watching my
it's
old mutuals be
fucking
like, hey, I'm
hilarious.
here. And I'm like, welcome back. I didn't go anywhere.
Welcome back. It still sucks.
Cool. But anything else?
Folks, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ben C. Hamlin. I'm just living my life out there. I'm always trying to have a little bit of fun. I stream with Maddie's on Tuesdays at twitch.tv/Infinity Break Gaming. If you want more, genuinely more of this, you actually kind of get that. Because Maddie and I just end up talking about horror movies pretty frequently on our Tuesday streams.
Once I no longer have an every Tuesday commitment, this is a promise and a threat. I am going to find a day where I can just be like, knock, knock, let me in, bitches.
Yeah.
We
Put
always
you on the call.
we always do the call in this chat.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you could just join.
Someday you're just gonna be like, it'll be like, player 3 is joined.
Our friend Nate does
Nate
that to
does
us
that
constantly.
There's no little doodle for me.
Yeah. Chaos and Stereo, the podcast that we do while there's a video game happening in the background.
Right, yeah. Frequently described as a talk show in which a video game happens to be on in the background.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But yeah, we do that every Tuesday. I stream solo every Friday. You can also check out Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. Syndicated is a show I do with my wonderful friend Lesley Yates, in which we have lengthy discussions about the history and craft of storytelling over a serialized medium, television specifically, but we're both very well read, well viewed people, and we expand our topics of discussion outside of just television. We've done a whole season on workplace comedies. We are currently kind of actually coming to the end of our adult animation series, and then we don't know what's next. It might be horror, might be sci-fi, might be crime from the criminal's perspective, which means we're finally talking about Breaking Bad and whatnot, and The Sopranos. But who knows?
Come on and yell about White Collar.
Please. But yeah, no, it's
the parts of White Collar before White Collar abruptly got canceled right before they tried to do something dumb with their Nazi.
That's right.
plot
Before White Collar abruptly ended for no reason, and we never found out what happened, and all the other stuff didn't happen.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yeah. It was wild. Anyway.
But yeah, we go through a genre. We basically watch one episode of each show that a guest brings to us. So we talk a little bit without the context of the broader show. We talk like within the context of genre and storytelling in general. I honestly think it's a really fascinating listen. Maybe that's just because I'm the person who co-makes the show. But our latest 3 episodes at this point are on Archer, Home Movies, which is the old like 1999 TV show starring H. John Benjamin, and Midnight Gospel, the Netflix show by Pendleton Ward and Duncan Trussell.
Yep.
Our latest episodes were like literally about like the act of amateur creative expression. Like, I think we get really deep on that show, and I wish more people listened to it. So Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. But yeah, that's it. But check out infinitybreak.net for everything, and check out Syndicated and ParaScience specifically.
Yeah. And I don't know, we don't talk about this in the outro, but you can also find Infinity Break on Twitter, specifically at InfinityBreak23.
Yep.
So where you can find all of the other shows. I think we link it in the Sneople Twitter too. But
yeah.
Why don't you take us out?
Oh, gladly. Hey, folks, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for doing the light.
Yes, thanks for the voice crack. Thanks for hanging out with us. You're killing me. Legends of Leia comes out every other Wednesday right here on Infinity Break.
Legends of Leia. Ben and I are on it.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Sneople at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake and at infinitybreak23. Our theme music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, where you can find it at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter, and our logo was designed by my friend, Bethany Leuthold. You can check out bethanyleuthold.wixsite.com. Also follow her Instagram and TikTok, both of which are incredible. If you have got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, like In the Mouth of Madness, or your best ghost story, come say hello. Also, if you can, please leave a review on iTunes. No, seriously, please do. As the content director of Infinity Break, I check each of those shows on about a month basis. I'd love to see more reviews there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify's kind of testing the platform. Really, you should just leave a review anywhere. And share the show with friends. Those are people you know personally who think would enjoy it. As always, thanks for listening, and we will see you at the movies.
My God, the fucking the spice on that outro.
Not to editorialize.